nothing a retired governor can do, but a president.
Now he can do a thing or two.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan interview of Dennis Quaid a few weeks ago, only to find out that Dennis Quaid would be playing Ronald Reagan, the iconic president, in the upcoming movie of the same name. Needless to say, I was a bit perplexed by the casting, yet excited about the prospects of getting an on-screen adaptation of the life of the legend. Curiosity and excitement led me to invite my brother to go watch the movie in theaters. I remember much of the president's administration in my youth and have always regarded him as a political badass. He was a smooth, charismatic force of nature in the White House, even credited with the fall of the longtime rival, the Soviet Union. Would this movie do him justice? Would it be a compelling story? Would they include that Mondale debate zinger?
I want you to know that also I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Well, I would have to see for myself. The story is narrated by Viktor Piotrov, played by Jon Voight, a former KGB agent whose life was inextricably linked to Ronald Reagan's. The former KGB agent describes Ronald Reagan's life from his youth and delves into the driving forces behind the man who would be king. We are given just enough background to understand his later motivations. The story gives us a brief introduction into the man in his college years, and later we see his rise and fall as a Hollywood actor, alongside his wife Jane Weinman, played by Mina Suvari. The reluctant crusader finds himself divorced and his career is waning, but others see a rising political star. The film takes us to his California governorship and a major political defeat. He finally secures the office of the presidency with his wife Nancy Reagan, played by the beautiful Penelope Ann Miller, by his side against all odds. The film shows us his stand against communism and political opponents that consider him a dear friend. This culminates in the Iran-Contra affair and his famous Berlin Wall speech, in which he commands Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down that wall. Okay, so here's my 2 cents. From a cinematographic perspective, I felt the film was shot well, and that it had the look and feel of Hollywood in the 40s and 50s. This was beautifully portrayed in the fashions and the color palette they used in the filming. It really took me back in time to the glamour and fashion of the era. I really didn't think Quaid would embody the president well, but after a while, especially in his later years, I could actually see some of the president's features in him. Quaid is a fantastic actor, and he executed his lines brilliantly, injecting humor and the strong sense of character in the president he portrayed. Mina Suvari does a great job as the president's first wife with the lines that she was given about a woman many know little, if anything, about. Rounding up the main characters in the cast is Penelope Ann Miller as the first wife. She is smart, compassionate, and beautiful as Nancy Reagan, adding a no-nonsense yet motherly feel to the story. This is in essence the story of the enduring impact of the power of one man who overcame the odds, sustained by the love of a woman who supported him in his journey. I thought the pacing was a little off in the first act, but improved dramatically with the election of Reagan in the third. That's when the script injected more excitement, tension, and the stakes were higher. The most stirring scenes came from his encounter with Mikhail Gorbachev. It is a tense and thrilling moment that makes a film worth the price of admission. My verdict is that it's an excellent view into the life of an extraordinary individual. If you're a Reagan fan, you will love it. If you want to know more about the man who changed the prevailing geopolitical ideology of almost half a century, it's a must-see. I was laughing, I was interested in the story, and even had watery eyes at the end with a memorial service to the president. Audiences gave it an unprecedented 98% Rotten Tomato score by over 5,000 people. And critics unexplainably gave it an 18%. That's a 70% disparity. Yeah, that smells fishier than Aquaman after a night at an aquarium brothel. So definitely watch. Let me know what you think of it, like and subscribe for more insightful movie reviews, and as always, keep watching movies.